Alright, so it's time to finally get out a review for A Quiet Place Part 2. Yes, took long enough, right? Bought this Blu-ray like a month or two ago when it came out. Just now, getting to it. So, I decided, I think, during this film, towards the end of it, that I'm going tentatively, my 31 on 31 for this year, because I didn't have a plan for one. I was just going to do a bunch of random movies put together. But I think I'm going to do creature features. And I'm still trying to figure out what movies are going to fit in here. I got a tentative list. But the Quiet Place movies are going to fit in there somewhere. So, I already did the first one reviewing my Pick 10 Horror 3, The Reckoning. But here, we got A Quiet Place Part 2. And, my initial thoughts are, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. And that's because John Krasinski was not in it. To me, he was sort of the heart and soul of the first film, and him being gone kind of took that away. Yes, he's at the beginning for a little, flashback, and that's great. But then he's replaced with Cillian Murphy, whose character is not as caring as Krasinski's character is. He's sort of the opposite, although he does sort of, warm up to the daughter later. Which, by the way, I forgot she was deaf until they did the thing. And there are certain things that they show in this flashback that connects to later. Like, so the flashback is shown in the trailers. Their, normal life. Creatures come down, start attacking, that sort of thing. But we see they're at a baseball game, and you see Cillian Murphy, and you think, oh, okay, so this flashback isn't just to show us how it started, it's to establish the character of Emmett, which is his character's name, and that he's a part of this world too. Okay, I understand it, I get that, but well, we'll get to it. So the Indians come, they attack, but during this baseball game before the Indians attack, they're doing sign language stuff. And, the mom, Emily Blunt, she tells the son Marcus to breathe. That comes in later because he's playing baseball. And then, Cillian Murphy asks what? The sign, how do you do dive? And it's that, which is pretty obvious. Also comes back later. Creatures happen, and then we cut to right after the events of the first film. It's like Halloween and Halloween 2 just picking up right after the events of the first film. And, yeah, so they're trying to get away, and they trigger a sound, and they're saved by someone whose face is covered up, and it ends up being Emmett. And this is where I have a problem, because as soon as he sees them, he's like, no, you need to go away. I don't have enough food, I don't have enough. No, you need to leave. The opposite of, of Lee or John Krasinski, where he was willing to help people, help his family. He's like, no, go away. I don't want you here. We find out that the creatures killed his children on day one, and his wife died sometime later. That sucks. He's all alone, but he does end up bonding with the daughter, which I thought was pretty cool. But then we get to another part that, they separate. Like, the daughter runs off because there's this radio broadcast playing Beyond the Sea, and it's like a warning. And she goes off. Now, whose idea was it that the deaf girl would go after a radio signal? That makes no sense to me, really. I'm sitting there going, wait, why would someone who can't hear care about a radio signal? I know she's trying to, save people and get to shelter, stuff like that. But I'm just saying, she can't hear it. Well, this is why Cillian Murphy was with her. But they end up going, and we get another thing I don't like. These feral people that aren't explained, they look like they're diseased or something. They're not explained, but they're taken out really quickly. Maybe in the third one they'll explain them. I don't know. And they go to this island, right? And they find out that the creatures can't swim. Are they from the same planet as the aliens from Signs, who didn't realize that the Earth is made more than 50% of water? So, what was your plan here? You can't swim? No? Okay. Why come... I don't know. Maybe they didn't know they couldn't swim. Who knows? But they drown. Because it looks like there's actually... Because when he jumps in, it looks like he's going to go after it, and he drowned. So maybe he didn't know he couldn't swim. I don't know. But they get to this island, and there's a man on the island, which is the guy's name, I guess, played by Djimon Hounsou, which is the Captain Weir Wonder, but he's just a man on an island. He's got an establishment there, right? Away from the island, but without a climax, this film will kind of end boringly. I mean, we got something going on with the family where Marcus gets scared. He gets with the bear trap earlier on, but he gets scared and he and the baby gets locked in this airtight thing. It's shut. He can't get it open. He's got to breathe. Get it? And also the whole dive thing comes back when the feral people are holding her, and he's telling her to dive, and he makes noise so the creatures come and kill them. So there's that. So, yes, and so the mom comes back, rescues them so they can breathe. New air, oxygen tanks, stuff like that. And that's kind of the end with them. And I mean, there's a thing with creatures there too, but it's kind of the end with their story, and then goes to the island. And like I said, we need a big alien climax. So we're going to bypass the whole they can't swim to the island and so they're safe on the island. No, we need to write ourselves out of that corner we made, because we need to have this climax. So they boarded a boat. A bunch of them got on a boat and sailed there, or made their way there on the boat, I guess. And now jumping around this island, which when I started no. That's writing yourself out of a corner, because you're going in, you're writing this, and you say they can't swim so they can get to the island. Good. And then you're going through, wait a minute, we need something big at the end here, like we did at the end of the first one. So we need aliens to get to the island, so they're on a boat, which we did see earlier, but they probably wrote in there, but it's like they're on a boat and they get there and they kill a bunch of people, and then she does the same thing she did at the end of the last one and kills them, and yeah. And then the movie ends, because this is going to continue. Apparently there's a third one, but they're working on a spin-off, which you should finish the base trilogy first before you do a spin-off. Because, look at The Conjuring, right? If you did 3 Conjuring movies in a row and then focus on the spin-offs, you wouldn't have this wild, wacky world. Now, this is my point, alright? You have 2 good movies like these. This is still a good movie, even though I have some problems with it. It's a solid movie for me. The acting is still great. The effects are still good. The whole quiet and boom noise, still good. Still very good. Effects are great. All that. Everything you love from the first film is here. Just a little less. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Just a little bit less than the first one. But here's my point. You have 2 great films by a great director, both of them. John Krasinski directed both of them. What you do is you do a third one right away, like a couple years after the second one. And so you have James Wan be able to come back. He's doing he did a couple movies in 2018, He did, what was it? Fury 7. And then, James Wan, and then Aquaman. But you haven't come back for the third one. You haven't do that one and make it better, because every time he hands off a project to someone, James Wan does, it doesn't do very good. Look at Insidious, right? Insidious 3, I think Lee Winnell did that one. That's alright. But then Insidious The Last Key is just okay. Insidious 3 is alright too, but not as good as the first 2. The Conjuring. Conjuring 3, not very good. And then you have the various spin-offs. But if you had done the first 2 Conjurings, even if The Conjuring 3 wasn't directed by James Wan, you have 2 great films and that one, and then you start doing the spin-offs. If Conjuring 3 was just okay, then there wouldn't be all this, oh, hey, these spin-offs are going to be great. We can get decent movies with these. But now, spin-offs have run their course. They've diluted the franchise because of it. And now, when a Conjuring movie comes out in the universe, they're just like, okay, we got another one. Because think about it. You had The Conjuring, and then you did Annabelle. Annabelle wasn't so good, but they're like, oh, The Conjuring 2 came out, and that kicked ass. And then Annabelle Creation came out, and that kicked ass. And so we got The Nun. That one was okay. And then Annabelle Comes Home, and The Curse of La Llorona. La Llorona was fine. Annabelle Comes Home, okay. The Conjuring 3, now we go back full circle and it's okay. If you had just done great, okay, and then you start doing the spin-offs and you have Annabelle, which is okay, most like 3, and then you have Annabelle Creation, oh, that's great, but then you have all these other spin-offs would go, but by then, you're like, okay, we have our 3 Conjurings, we have the spin-offs. We don't really need to do any more. Whereas, if you do the 2 Quiet Places, and then a bunch of spin-offs, and then finally, we're going to get back, we're going to do the last Quiet Place. By the time you do Quiet Place 3, and you had like 2 or 3 spin-offs, they're just like, you know what? Do we really need Quiet Place 3? Because by the time Conjuring 3 came out, people was like, this is long awaited, but do we really need it? That's what I'm saying. Do A Quiet Place Part 3 first. Finish off that trilogy, then do the spin-offs. That's all I'm saying. But as for A Quiet Place Part 2, it's 8 out of 10 for me. I thought it was good, just not as good as the first one. So what are your thoughts on A Quiet Place Part 2? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.